Hi there everyone, Rob here with today's Western Pacific weather update. Just want to remind you, if you not already have watched the Western Pacific weather meet and greet review, please do so. I'm going to be putting the link into the description down below. I actually met up with James Reynolds there on Friday, had an awesome time, and then we met up with all of you on Saturday. Lots of stuff was discussed there, so please do go check it out. But let's get into the weather out here in the Western Pacific. I know we haven't had an update since Friday. And let's first start off by talking about what has happened this weekend out across the Western Pacific. And what I can say is there was a potent storm system moved across Japan yesterday. Actually, on my flight in from the Philippines here from the south, you could see this frontal area just off towards the east moving away from the country. This was very large cumulonimbus cloud tops moving off there, and plus that cold air diving in behind it. Even out here in northern Honshu, there was a 97-kilometer-per-hour wind report due to the storm system, and still seeing plenty of precipitation move onshore, some snowfall into the higher elevations out across this area, but also down towards the south in the Philippines. In Manila, it was absolutely beautiful all weekend, but Visayas and northern Mindanao, you were getting hit rather hard. I actually saw about generally 60 to 70 millimeters reported in a 24-hour span across this area, and also one report there in Visayas up to 72 millimeters over a 24-hour period due to this big bulk of convection. But now into the forecast. We are watching this area as it pushes off towards the west into Thailand. You're going to be expecting some heavy rainfall. Meanwhile, actually in Vietnam yesterday, there was a 104 millimeter reported there in Hue. But also, we're just going to start to watch the Gulf of Thailand and also the Bay of Bengal a little bit farther there towards the west due to a few of these low pressure areas that are popping up across the intertropical convergence zone in the area. We see that whole monsoonal belt moving down towards the south due to the northeast monsoon starting to build in from the north. That's this high pressure here. Remember, we have that anti-cyclonic, circulation around this high, and that means those northeast winds coming in and just subsiding that whole ITCZ. That is why Mindanao and Visayas are getting more rainfall, even over there towards around Palau, and also around portions of Malaysia and Singapore. We have been seeing some strong thunderstorms, but you see these low pressure areas popping up here. Let's take a look at what the model outlook actually is showing at this time, at least GFS. And they are really initializing it rather well with that area of convection over the Philippines. Also the one just north of Borneo where you saw about 70 millimeters in the past 24 hours. That's reported. I do think some isolated areas out into the mountains there probably got more across the rainforest. But let's take a look into the next several days. On Tuesday, going into Wednesday, let's see that Gulf of Thailand, the center of circulation and overall low pressure area starting to spin up very slowly. Nothing too organized at this time, but the waters are still warm down here. It is lacking in somewhat of a Coriolis force. That's typically around 10 degrees north. This line right here, that's the general rule where you need for a good cyclonic circulation. That's why you don't see too many storms down that far south. But we have seen typhoons hit this area before. And then I look out into the Bay of Bengal into Saturday. We also have this area that possibly could develop. Still very long range. Definitely still want to watch it. But in general speaking, tropics are relatively quiet. Actually, more potent is that storm system that came across Japan today. And then you can see it's right on its following on its heels after that monsoonal winds come in from the north, bringing all that cold air. We have this guy blowing in on Saturday. Fairly confident by the end of the week. Definitely going to be another rather strong storm system developing up across Korea and then moving over towards Japan. Very well could be bringing about 100 to 200 millimeters of heavy rainfall, plus those gusty winds like we saw there in northern Honshu, up to 97 kilometers per hour. I mean, for example here, this is actually a ASCAT imagery just showing the winds over the waters, and what you can see here is up to 35 to 40 knots coming in off of Korea. This is also pushing off there towards the east. Definitely gale force warnings are posted across much of Japan here, extending down towards the East China Sea, so any boating is really going to be having a rough time due to those strong winds pouring in from the north, thus kicking up those seas. Now, this is a 24-hour outlook from JMA here, and we do have that cyclonic circulation going around this low-pressure area. So with that said, cold air is still going to be dragged in out of Siberia, pushing across the warm waters of the Sea of Japan. Once again, I do think that there is going to be the risk of some sea effect snow along the west coast of Hokkaido and northern Honshu Honshu as that moisture continues to be pumped onshore through the next several days. Otherwise, eastern Japan, you're going to be remaining rather dry. China remaining rather dry into the latter part of the week. And once again, Thailand, I do think some heavy rain showers are going to be on tap for you into the latter part of the week. Not to mention what I typically say, those afternoon pop-up thunderstorms, but nothing organized, at least at this time, across much of the area. And also, you see JMA here also putting that area just over Palawan as a low-pressure region at this time. So still watching out for that. But that is all for today, everybody. Thanks again for watching here at WesternPacificWeather.com. A very scattered update, to say the least, today, but I do hope you found it useful. So as always, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please post them into the comment box below on how we can improve these videos. Not to mention, if you want to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, you can follow us at Western Pacific Weather or follow me at Robert Speta at both of those locations. So thanks again for watching those. Stay safe out there, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.